Hi, I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world. Today is a little new series maybe that I'm starting called bigcal Talks. I've done bigcal Talks About, where I talked about specific consoles, but this one's more just for, general things that I might want to talk about that I don't really think deserve their own video, so a bunch of things will be clumped together. Firstly, let's just say the month of May. Was it May? June? What month are we in? It's June, it's July. Okay, the month of June wasn't very good. The fact that I can't remember the month might, explain a bit. Let's see. For starters, look at me. I need a haircut, I need a shave. I'm just a scruffy bugger right now. I just can't be arsed. I haven't been arsed for most of the month. My depression hasn't exactly been on the upside this month, so that hasn't helped either. Here in the UK, we had a couple of weeks of extremely warm weather, which we're never prepared for. We do not do well in warm weather, and then me being ginger, light-skinned and all that, fair-skinned, whatever they call it, I do even worse in warm weather. I could literally do nothing for like the 2-week period but sit with a fan on me. So, that really put most of my videos behind schedule, and a lot of them haven't been done. So this month, again, Bayonetta has not been done, the review. It's the second time I think I've had to push it back or cancel it or whatever. I just haven't had a chance to get it done, to sit down and really play it. It's just not been the best month, like I said, for me to do things. Hollywood Meets Wrestling was going to come back 2 months ago, supposed to come back this month or whatever. I haven't done that either. There were some top 10s I was going to do. Haven't done any of those. So sorry about all that. Hopefully, the month of July will be much better. The Bayonetta 2 review will not be pushed back to July. It will instead be July's review will be as normal. Bayonetta, I'll just do that whenever I get the chance to in the future. So sorry about that. Hollywood Meets Wrestling, I'll hopefully get it done again in July, and everything else will hopefully be done in July as well. Then I can get back on track properly. That's if all goes well. So anyway, the bigcal Talks. I did not do a video or anything on E3 because at the time I just couldn't be arsed. Like I said, it was too warm. My original plan was I was going to do a long grinding episode of bigcal Plays Pokemon Crystal, and instead of doing a highlights video, I was going to record the whole thing, and throughout I was going to give my thoughts on E3 while I was grinding. So, you'd see me grinding, but instead of just watching me grinding, you'd also hear my thoughts on E3, and it'd be a bit better for a video. Of course, that never got done because, like I said, to do a video longer than the 20 minutes in the heat that we had this month, without a fan on and without the window open because of all the noise, it wouldn't have been able to record properly. It was just impossible to do anything longer than 20 minutes at a time. I could not have sat there and done a grinding episode and talked about E3. So I just want to sort of give my thoughts on it now, better late than never. So here are all of my original notes. I even spilled beer on the first page at one point. Anyway, so E3 2007, we started off with EA, and they showed off Madden 18, so that's some American soccer game, and they've got story mode in it now because they kind of have to. Every other game has one. Battlefield 1's getting some night maps and something to do with the Russian army, and I don't know, some content. FIFA 18, it's the same as last year, but with new players probably. Need for Speed, my god, they had that really awkward segment with some YouTuber that no one's ever fucking heard of, not knowing what the hell he was doing, and it actually looks quite like a fun game, but I've never really played the Need for Speeds too much, not that bothered, to be honest. A Way Out, new IP based on a prison escape, looks really good, and then they drop the bombshell that it's co-op only, which, I'm not a big fan of online gaming for starters. I would not want to play a game like this online with some random stranger. As for couch co-op, I wouldn't be able to get anyone to come and play with me every time I wanted to play it. So the game's just completely dead to me, which is a shame because it looked really good and looked unique and all that shizzle. Anthem, a new IP, which just looks like a generic space suit shooter game, you know, Destiny, but not Destiny. NBA Live, yeah, there's some basketball stuff in it. Battlefront 2, their big deal was, hey, we're actually adding content to the game this time, aren't we great? No, you're fucking not, useless twats. How about you add the content to the game in the fucking first place? Yeah, but they have added a lot to it, thankfully, so this one feels like a fun game. And while I'm not a fan of the Battlefront games, this does actually look quite interesting, especially they've got a brand new story set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. You know, they've got all three trilogies basically going to be included in some way. You can play as droids, which is hilariously awesome. I want to do that. You know, new stuff, free content. And the story mode, I believe, is single player, so you don't have to piss about with online bullshit for that. So that's good. So that was EA, whatever. Not much for me there, sadly. Xbox next. They announced the Scorpio, which is now the Xbox One X, which is just the dumbest fucking name ever. Come on, Microsoft. Microsoft just haven't got it right. They started off with the Xbox. And then the Xbox 2 was called the Xbox 360. And then the Xbox 3 was called the Xbox One. But the Xbox One was just called the Xbox. It's like a who's on first joke, but with consoles. So now the Xbox One X is an Xbox One, but more powerful. Yay! Who gives a fuck, because the Xbox has got fuck all in terms of games. Forza 7, you know, they showed that off. That's a big main series for them. Impressive graphics, yes, and the phone's now ringing, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, phone call's finished. Where was I? Forza 7, impressive looking graphics. I am getting a bit more into driving games lately, but I wouldn't exactly buy an Xbox just for a fucking driving game. Showed off Assassin's Creed Origins set in Egypt, obviously not Xbox exclusive, so whatever. Player Unknown, Battleground, some sort of online shooter game. Whatever, Deep Rock Galactic, shooty game, probably online only as far as the source. State of Decay 2, zombie shooty thingy. More shooty, Minecraft now in 4K. If any game needed 4K, it was a game built out of pixel blocks. Mr. Willie, what the fuck are you doing? They had Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which again isn't system exclusive but looks absolutely fantastic. I do want to play that on the PC. Black Desert, an MMORPG, whatever. A bunch of other stuff, blah blah blah. Sea of Thieves, online pirate game. Looks kind of cool, but the online aspect just puts me straight off. No interest. They showed off a 3D platformer that at first everybody thought was Conker's Bad Fur Day. And it's just an indie game called Super Lucky's Tale, which looks just like every other 3D platformer that's been released lately by indie developers. Made in the Unreal 4 engine, and the graphics are just identical, sort of level design identical, all the colour things identical. Not necessarily a bad thing, because they do look kind of good, but, you know, they're all just looking the same now. They actually showed off Cuphead some more. It's actually coming out September 29th. So we'll see if they've made it any better than just boss fights, which is apparently what it was last time anyone got the chance to play it. Crackdown 3's there, they got Terry Crews, more indie games, a game called Ashen, which I had no fucking clue what the hell it was. Life is Strange 2 looks kind of cool, I've never heard of the first one before. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor sequel. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Looks really stunning, another 2D platformer. Sequel, a bunch of other shit. Let's see. Original Xbox games are going to be available to download digitally or something, or put the disc in and they'll play, but only certain ones, depending on what developers want you to play. Not quite great backwards compatibility, but better than nothing. They showed off more of Anthem. And the main issue that I think most people have, including myself with the Xbox presentation, is almost all the games they showed were timed exclusives. Not exclusive to Xbox, but only timed. There were only maybe 3 or 4 that were actually exclusive, so not really much of a reason to buy an Xbox unless you're desperate to play some games a month or so earlier than the PS4. Bethesda. the Doom virtual reality, or virtual fucking reality. That'd be a really fun game, actually, playing virtual reality. 4 VR, I can't imagine playing a game like that for that length of time, virtual reality. Elder Scrolls Online's got the expansion with Morrowind in it or something. Skyrim officially coming to the Switch with Amiibo support, mainly with Link, it looks. New Dishonored DLC, I think it was. Quake Champions was shown off and the beta was out. Evil Within 2 looked creepy as fuck, but in a good way. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, looks fantastic. I would definitely like to play that at some point. And something Heroes of Skyrim Legends, I have no idea what the fuck that is or what it was. Devolver Digital, sorry, they had a really crazy presentation that was taking the piss out of other presentations, and it started off really funny and then they just kept pushing the joke and it just kind of got sad towards the end. They didn't really have anything to show beyond Runner and Serious Sam's bogus detour. Let's see, PC gaming, XCOM 2 expansion looked really cool. Nothing else I really want to talk about there, to be honest. Ubisoft, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle looked absolutely amazing. Sorry, I am sweating like mad on camera because it's still that warm. Jesus, this is crazy. Looks amazing. It's like XCOM but with Mario and Rabbids. And no one really knew what to expect. We saw the picture with the guns and people were like, what the fuck's this? And then we saw the gameplay like, want. Definitely want to switch and definitely want this game. It looks fantastic. They showed some other stuff. The Crew 2, Doctor Strange World flipping because is what I wrote. It made no sense. South Park, The Fractured Butthole looks fantastic still. Cannot wait for that. We've got Professor Timmy, basically as Professor X. There's a superhero called Toolshed and someone called Call Girl. Yeah, and they're also releasing a phone game. Did I write it down? Yes, the Phone Destroyer. Just looks like the RPG games but on a phone. Going to be really cool, no doubt. Far Cry 5, they showed off some more of that. Looks great. Definitely want to play it. Beyond Good and Evil was finally properly announced. Showed off some non-in-game footage, but then I think they did show off some afterwards. Looks kind of cool. Skull and Bones. It was another kind of like Sea of Thieves, but looked a little better in my opinion. And I do believe there is a single-player mode for it that they mentioned afterwards, so that's good. Sony next, they had Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. It's Uncharted, but with women now, so the Uncharted games I've yet to really delve into them. I've got the first 3 on the PS3. I liked what I've played so far. So another Uncharted game, whether it stars women or men or fucking dogs, I don't care. If it's good gameplay, it's going to be good. Horizon, getting an expansion in the snow. Okay. Days Gone. It just looks like another large open world game that we've been getting for the last few years. Monster Hunter World was shown off. Shadow of the Colossus is getting a HD remake. An actual remake, not just a remaster. Whatever, I don't really care. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Story looks fun, but it's a fighting game. I'm just not that interested. Some other stuff, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. A VR fishing game based on Final Fantasy 15, because that needed to happen apparently. For fuck's sake. God of War, they showed us some more of that. Very interested in that. Spider-Man showed off some gameplay. That looked tremendous. I want a PS4 just for that. Then, of course, we had, finally, Nintendo. Wow, what a conference they had. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 showed it off. Looked very good. It's going to be more like the original Xenoblade Chronicles rather than Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I think what that means is less of an open world, more of a focused story gameplay. I think that's what it is. But it looks cool anyway. A new Kirby game in the style of Kirby. Looks really good. Also can be up to 4 players co-op, so that's going to be a great game. they announced that they are making a core RPG Pokemon game for the Switch. It is happening. We don't know when. It wouldn't surprise me if it didn't come out while 2019, but it's happening, and oh my god, I cannot wait. I need a Switch. Metroid Prime 4 is in development. It's not made by Retro Studios this time, who did the original Metroid Prime games. Instead, it's an in-house Nintendo, so we'll see what they do with it. Speaking of Retro Studios, no mention of what the fuck they're doing. No idea. So hopefully we'll see that soon. The new Yoshi game looks so wonderful. It's still Yarn Yoshi, but set in a handcrafted, handmade level. You know, everything like cardboard and paper, and you know, some little kids designed this world. Oh, it looks so good. That's coming out sadly in 2018 though, but I'll hopefully have a Switch by then. Fire Emblem Warriors was shown off. It's another Warriors game, but with Fire Emblem characters. Zelda Breath of the Wild showed off the first 2 DLC packs. Not too bothered. We had a bit more Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yep, great stuff. Rocket League's now going to be on the Switch. Super Mario Odyssey, of course. Wow. Use the hat to take over enemies and control them. And the levels look fantastic. The music's fantastic. Looks like there's going to be a ton to do in the game. I cannot wait to get it and play it and see just more of what they showed off. Because they only really showed off 2 levels, I think. You know, the desert level and the one in the city. So you can only imagine what else they've got in the game. It's just going to be fantastic, I just know it. And then the surprise is all with another Metroid game, Samus Returns. It's basically the Metroid 2 Game Boy remake. It's coming out in September. Looks pretty good, and it actually has a really good limited edition collector's set coming out for it. But probably won't bother with it because it costs too much money. And lastly, something they announced again after the actual conference, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga is getting a remake on the 3DS, plus Bowser's Minions, which looks to be some crazy little other side game to it. So very happy with that, because that means if you've got a 3DS, you can play all the Mario & Luigi games now, because there'll be the first one, that was Game Boy Advance, is getting remade, and all the others are either DS or 3DS. So that is great. So that was E3. I enjoyed it for the most part. There was some really fun stuff. Nintendo killed it for me. I definitely need to get my hands on a Switch for next year when all these awesome games are going to be coming out. So that's that part. Then, of course, we had the huge announcement recently of the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. Yes, we are getting a Mini SNES. I was one of those people that got the Mini NES, no problems, pre-ordered it straight away last year, got it, loved it. So I'm very excited for the Mini SNES. I have indeed already pre-ordered it as soon as it came online available. But there are some odd pricing issues here in the UK. I pre-ordered it on Game, because that's where it first came online to pre-order. And it was $79.99. But then some other pre-orders came on other websites, including Nintendo's own site, for $69.99. But then there are some other shops that are charging $84.99 for it. So it's like, what the fuck? So I keep messaging Game on Twitter to ask them if they're going to price match, and of course they fucking ignored me, because that's what they do. So please, everybody, ask Game Digital if they're going to be price matching the Mini SNES to everywhere else, basically, for only 70 quid rather than 80. But anyway, let's actually get into the console. So, it's coming out September 29th this year. They have said they're going to be making a lot more, but it's only in 2017. After that, they're not going to make any more. They're actually telling us this time up front that we're getting no more after 2017. Why? I will never know. It makes no sense for them not to keep producing these and sell them all year round. But whatever. There's 2 controllers are going to be included with it this time rather than just one, so that'll be helpful. And the cables are going to be longer. Apparently they're going to be 2 foot extra on them, but even if that's too short, most people, if they got a NES Classic, will have cable extenders. Wow, it's really hammering it down there, Saudi Rain. Anyway, I've still got cable extenders just in case I need them. So because it is going to be using the same connector ports for the Wii Classic Controller and things like that. But the games on it, they're only 21 rather than 30, which is odd because surely they can fit as many as they fucking want on here. But the list of games is tremendous. We have some obvious ones, some out there ones, and one that's just like, what? So we have Super Mario World. Yes. Super Mario Kart. Of course. Super Mario RPG. Yes, because this never came out here in the UK. I don't even know if it's come out on the Virtual Console yet or anything. I'm not too sure, but we're getting it finally. I'll very much like to have it on something. Yoshi's Island. Yes, I very much want to play this game. Super Castlevania 4. Very excited for that. Super Metroid. I enjoyed the first Metroid a ton on the Mini NES. It was my first time really playing it, so I'm excited for Super Metroid. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I like whatever the first one was. Ghosts and Goblins. I'm very excited for the sequel, which is supposed to be a lot better. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I don't care, but it obviously had to be on here. Earthbound, very cool, we're getting it. I do own it on the Virtual Console and the Wii U, but very nice to have on here. Super Punch-Out, absolutely love the first game on the Mini NES. Very excited for the sequel to be here. Mega Man X, if we're going to put Mega Man game on it, I suppose that's the one for the Super Nintendo. Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. I only own the original Street Fighter 2, so I'm very happy to have the Turbo version here. Final Fantasy 3, aka 6, I think. Again, a rather obvious choice. I might give it a go, but Final Fantasy and me just don't mix well. Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby Superstar, that's the 6-in-1, I believe. Secret of Mana, great. F-Zero, very cool to have. Donkey Kong Country, everyone's a bit sort of disappointed we didn't get the second one, but I'll take what we can get. Then Star Fox, and finally the big out there one that no one expected, Star Fox 2, the first official release we are ever getting of this game. It was never released on the Super Nintendo, but it was finished, and now we're finally getting the game. But apparently I did read that in order to play the game, you have to unlock it by proving yourself in the first Star Fox game by just beating the first level. So that's kind of cool. So the SNES Mini Classic, tons of great games, 2 controllers. Hopefully there'll be more stock. I've pre-ordered mine to hopefully make sure I get one. Very, very excited for it. Okay, and lastly, I suppose, just on this bigcal talks, is my Pokemon Crystal Let's Play. As of yesterday, I defeated the Elite Four, beat the champion, and I sort of finished the main gameplay stuff. The question I have now is, should I start a new Let's Play or continue on with a bunch more episodes of Crystal? Now, I know Crystal, you go to Kanto and you beat all the gyms there, and then you can go to Mount Silver and you can take on Red, the champion from the first game. But there's no story anywhere there. It's just basically me just going to be travelling from gym to gym, beating it and levelling up to take on Red. There's not really that much to it, so that's why I'm asking, do you want me to continue the Let's Plays with that, or start off an entirely new game? Which won't be an RPG game, by the way. I'm going to take a break from RPG games as a Let's Play, so, they're cool sometimes, but you do sort of get stuck with them for a very long time. Obviously, this one was 44 episodes long. Don't want to really be doing another Let's Play that long for a good while. So I'll put a poll up on Twitter, so if anyone is actually out there watching or listening, let me know. Post on the poll on Twitter. Should I continue Pokemon Crystal by going to Kanto, or should I start something new? Well, I think that's about it for today. I'm Big Cal, thanks for watching, and I will be back soon, hopefully with actual proper content next month in July. So, yeah.